I was not one of those kids who knew from a very young age that I was going to be a lawyer. I went to college. I started off majoring in engineering, and as with most engineering majors, that ended up becoming something else. In my case, it became information systems. I went and worked at a big tech company, Fortune 500 company, and I was miserable. And then 9/11 happened, and I was working in the travel and transportation industry. Our company had to do some layoffs. In every IT position for which I applied, I just walked out of the interview thinking, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back to that field. And I talked to my wife. We were newlyweds. She just said, then why would you, right? You've got a great degree from a great school. You can probably do other things. And we sat down and we thought through, what do you feel like God is calling you to do? But it wasn't until I talked to the Marine Corps recruiter that everything sort of clicked and made sense. It's like something straight out of a Hollywood movie. I started asking him, well, what kind of programs do you guys have? He's like, what do you mean programs? And I said, well, the Air Force guy, the Navy guy, were like, they've got bonuses and they can get me into this program that will put me on this track and I can do, all these different things. And I said, what does the Marine Corps have to offer? And I remember he just laughed. All I can offer is the opportunity to earn the title United States Marine. That's it. What I wanted was to be tested. What I wanted was to be pushed to my limit, and to really to kind of look inside myself and answer the question, do I have what it takes? And he was the one asking, do you have what it takes? So in the Marine Corps, there's an enlisted person who sort of is the gatekeeper to just do the initial screening. And then if you get past the gatekeeper, you can talk to what they call the officer selection officer. He said, Mike, we need to start talking now about what do you want to do in the Marine Corps if you make it? And I hadn't even really thought that. I mean, my entire focus had been I just got to survive first. I'll answer whatever other questions we can deal with later. I just need to survive. I said, I've often also kind of thought about the idea of law school. It's just being he goes, law school? He goes, okay, because we can use lawyers. I literally had no idea that the Marine Corps had lawyers. And I said, you guys have lawyers? And he goes, haven't you seen A Few Good Men? And I said, no, I haven't. He goes, your homework. You go home tonight and you watch A Few Good Men. And this was in the era of Blockbuster video, right? So I went and rented A Few Good Men and watched it. And we're watching it, and I turned to my wife and I said, not Tom Cruise, because he was the Navy JAG. So I was pointing Kevin Bacon, right? I said, that's what I'm going to do. And she was like, what? And I said, that's what I'm going to do. So that literally started the ball rolling. I was the president of Christian Legal Society when I was in law school, of our student chapter. And we came under attack by an organization that disagreed with our values. And they wanted to remove us from the law school. They wanted to get us disbanded and removed from campus. And we filed a lawsuit against my own law. I filed a lawsuit. I sued my law school. What that did, though, was open my eyes to what religious liberty was about and the religious hostility that exists in this country, not just in our places of higher education, but everywhere. I have a calling in life, and a big part of my calling is to stand up to bullies. So when it comes to religious freedom, I'm wired to be a fighter. I'm Mike Berry, and I'm first in the fight.